Hello, I'm Toycat, and today I'm in my updated adventures world. The reason for this is because that Let's Play is coming back pretty soon, and so I was just going through it myself and checking out some of the old stuff I built over the past 3 or 4 years, and I realized, I really like this stuff, I want to show some of it off. So today I'm going to be going through my top 5 favorite survival builds, something a lot of you have asked for in the past, and I'm going to be showing you what I think my favorite builds are, not just for the way they look or whatever, but also for the things they bring to the world and for the experience I had building it. So yeah, if you're looking for inspiration or you're just curious as to what my favorite builds are, today I'll be going through that and sharing it with you all. So hopefully you do all enjoy today's video. If you do like it, like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel, and let us know you do like this sort of video where I go over survival builds, because even though I do love survival and I'm really passionate about it, most of my stuff is done in that creative world. But yeah, with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we, with the 5th of my favorite survival builds, and this is one that really is mostly about function, but I really like, visually too, and that is the NPC villager apartment building. So yeah, if you don't know, when I built this world back in 2012, NPC villagers existed, but there was no actual villagers to go in them. It was just a blank village, and that meant that when villagers came out, I couldn't get them without curing villagers. So I killed 2 zombie villagers, but even that wasn't really enough to be exciting until I built the apartment building. So I came up with the design in literally 3 or 4 minutes, but still, there's just something so fascinating about it because it looks like a real world apartment building and functions perfectly like one. Just having both these buildings here turned the 2 villagers into 40 overnight, and that means I now have 5 or 6 iron golems. I have pretty much any trade I want, and it's all thanks to this one, or these 2 buildings, a pair of buildings, that I really, really like the way the colors kind of go together. Again, it's such a basic thing, but it really fits the theme of just yes, this is cram them in housing, and it actually, I think it works pretty well at its job. So yeah, this is my 5th favorite survival build. It really brought emeralds to the world in a way that they couldn't exist before, and I think that is pretty cool personally. So 5th favorite survival build has to be the NPC villager apartment. And my 4th favorite build in this world probably has to be my statue of myself, which seems a little bit crazy, and especially because the statue really does look a little bit I don't know, North Korea-y or Soviet Russia-y, but I really love this thing anyway because it is a really tricky thing to do in survival, getting all the wool for it. It's all different colors of wool, making sure it's all placed correctly when you can't see in first person. It was a really, really fun build project, and I really love the way it just sits on the hill and stares at everything I built. There's just something so perfect about building something like this. Again, it's a little scary, it's a little North Korea, but I really do like the thing anyway. Also, if I wanted to use it this way, I mean, I don't, but if I wanted to, it does actually double as a house. So let me please aim that ender pearl right. I don't think I did. Okay, we did it perfectly. But yeah, basically, it actually doubles as a house, so you can put your stuff in here, and I think that's a really, really cool thing personally. I think if you have a skin that is distinctive and that represents you, having just an amazing, one of these things makes you feel like you're on top of a giant robot, and just makes you feel that little bit cooler. Admittedly, this is my old skin before I decided to just be the Ocelot everywhere, but still, it's a really, really cool, just giant toy cat sitting on the hill, reminding you that Toycat is always watching, and even though it's a solo world, that's nice to think. I like that I'm watching after myself. Or does that even make sense? I don't know. But yeah, let's move on to the 3rd build in the survival that I rather do like. And actually, I can see it from here with an end pass. So yeah, my 3rd favorite build has to be the anvil or the armory, which has it's a giant anvil building with some swords in front of it. So originally, I just built the swords because I was like, oh, let's build some pixel art. And I think the easiest piece of pixel art for anyone to get into is just, oh yeah, build some swords, because they're pretty easy to build actually. I think there might be something wrong with these, but yeah, those are 2 iron swords. They're pretty easy. Then I built an anvil behind them, and I really like the effects you get together because again, they both signify, okay, this is an armory, that's for repairing, that's for swords and stuff, and inside it's the same sort of thing where it's just really nice, clean design. It's got a glass roof for no good reason. But yeah, I really like everything about this place. It's really functional because it can store a bunch of iron swords. You see that, by the way? I didn't realize I had so many of them. But yeah, then you can have both types of charm on the table. There's a lot of stuff that you need to kind of keep in one place, and I think the armory is, in this world, a really, really great place to do that. So yeah, I really like the armory, not only because I think it looks amazing, or in my opinion, obviously, I by my standards, it looks pretty cool, but I think there's also the really cool functionality bit of it, and that is why I like the anvil so much. So yeah, that is an accurate anvil. I believe it's built perfectly off the block, or almost perfectly or something, minus a few blocks that's just missing, over there for instance. No idea why, but yeah, really, really like the anvil, really, really like the swords in front of it, and I think it really does send the message that yes, this is an armory, this is where your stuff comes from. So let's move on to the 2nd favorite build in this world. So my 2nd favorite build in my survival world probably has to be, I guess, boys, an anti-build, because it took a lot of destroying to do more than it took actual building, but yeah, it took so much destroying, and it's so useful, despite seeming like a bit of a weird thing. So, I know, at least for myself, one of the first things I did when I first got Minecraft was flatten a little bit of area so I could build something, and in this case, I was flattening this area so I could build something on top of it, but as I expanded the flat area more and more and more over, mountains, I had to destroy a lot of this mountain, if you can't tell, over mountains, over water, over swamps, it just made me realize this is a really cool thing to have, not only because mobs will spawn there more often, often, which is cool because, as you can see, there's a wolf and there's probably a sheep down there recently. But yeah, there's some pigs, for instance, you can get easily. But at nighttime, it's a great way to hunt the mobs because, you know, the random ridges in the ground make it so much harder for you to find endermen or find creepers. This is just an amazing place to go hunting. If you want to try and get a charged creeper, you can do it here. If you want to try and get anything done that just needs space, this is amazing for that. And I really, really do like it as a build. And I also think that it's something every world should have. If right now you're like, what should I do? It seems like a boring project, but having a flat land can look really cool. I mean, besides the fact that half it's jungle and half it's like, I think that's a plains or an extreme hill. Yeah, it was besides the fact that there's the weird color clash that goes in the weirdest way around here. I think this is one of these just really cool builds that you probably should do in your Minecraft world at some point. If not for the whole like, oh yeah, well because, you know, it's actually kind of useful. Only for the cool factor, because when you look at this, it's just like, wait, is it you in a flatland world? Did you build all the rest of this around that? And that's something I've always thought was pretty cool. And it's something I actually will be extending, because if you look over there, it doesn't perfectly complete the way I'd like it to. So yeah, the flatland is something that's like 99% done technically. There's like that over there too. And maybe we get that to 100% soon. But yeah, that is that's got to be my second favorite build. But we'll move on to the first favorite. You could probably all see it coming because this is the most insane project I've ever worked on. And admittedly, there isn't really much need for it. Like, you know, it wasn't something where I was like, you know, this is going to be really necessary. But the insane sugarcane farm, which if you don't know, is all the way from bedrock. So this is, you can only really see like 3/4 for it now. It goes all the way down from bedrock, all the way up to sky height with just insane sugarcane farming all the way. And the best idea behind it was I wanted sugarcane really badly. I don't even know what I need it for. Like, I was just like, oh, let's farm it. Because it's one of the easiest things to farm, but it's also one of the more addicting things to farm, for me at least, because you're like, okay, so I've got myself 2 bits of sugarcane, but now, you know, I want to go to the leaderboard. So then you need to have enough sugarcane that it always grows back before you're done. And then you're like, oh, why not just make it all the way up to sky height and all the way down to bedrock? And that's what I decided to do. So obviously right now there's still a little bit more work that needs to be done. I think there's some planting. I need to get the rest of the water falling down, but it's like 99, or like not 99, it's like 85% done maybe. And it's just one of these projects that I look at and I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's something I didn't need, but it's something I'm very proud of because it's taken probably like, it's got to be like hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work by now, but it's something that every time I look at, I'm like, yeah, I probably have one of the very few ones of these in existence, and to me at least, that's pretty cool. So the Insane Sugarcane Farm is a reminder that if you ever want to build something, even though you don't need sugarcane so badly, by the way, I've even got like a house made of melons just to store the amount of sugarcane, because you gotta think, like, you only really need sugar for like cakes and maps, I guess, and also bookcases, but you know, how often does that come up? But yeah, basically, as you can see over here, I've got this entire place that I believe, most of the chests anyway, I just covered in the sugarcane, and yeah, that's the sugarcane farm. One of the coolest things I've, oh, okay, let's get out of it. One of the coolest things I've ever like had to work on, and one of my favorite things about this world, in my opinion. So yeah, that's sugarcane farm. I'm kind of trapped in here. Should we just place some blocks out? Let's do that. Oh, it's a little staircase. Yeah, I really do quite like the sugarcane farm. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. As everything else in this world, I do still quite like my gold farm, the giant cobblestone cube. I really like a lot of other builds, but these are just 5 of my favorites. Let me know what your favorites are if you've seen around the world. If you haven't, just a reminder that it is coming back on September the 12th. It's coming back on a Monday, and there's 240 episodes. If you want to binge watch before then, I'm not necessarily recommending it, but if you want to, I think that'd be pretty darn cool. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching, because I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!